What up, Chuds? Cobson here, back at it again with another brand new video. Today we're going to talk about the German elections, and they have been fascinating. For starters, the elections were really only in two states, Thuringia and Saxony. In Thuringia, the AfD managed to pick up a plurality, and in Saxony, the AfD got a narrow second place. This is great news for us on the right, and showing that our ideas really are more popular. But what I want to talk about specifically is I believe it's called the cordon sanitaire, is what the official term is. This firewall against the right, where spooky right wing populism, you know how that goes. And I just I find it ironic that the people who bloviate, who talk about democracy, 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 are the same ones who refuse to extend the franchise to voters of an opposition party. Like, you pick a lane, please. Or are you either some kind of dictatorship or a one-party state, or are you a real democracy that means that that opposition parties deserve a voice too? It can't be one way or the other. And the real reason is not because democracy, it's because of immigration. The corrupt political establishment all across the West loves immigration, cheap workers, and free votes. It's great for them and terrible for everyone else. So when a real political party comes out and says, no, you do not flood our country anymore. No, you do not force us to admit another, I don't know, 2 million Syrians into our country when the 2 million that are already here are mostly rapists and murderers. It feels good to know that people are actually liking our ideas. We're on the right, and I mean on the right, America, Italy, Germany, all that. The right has actual policy positions, while the left, from um, the ostensibly centrist parties like the CDU all the way to Die Linke, they're all just emotional. They're all like, "Oh, refugees are welcome here. No person is illegal." All of that stuff, and it makes me realize that yet we're actually the only ones with real policy platforms. And I noticed this, and it gets me going. Like, what does this mean for America? And what does this mean for Germany? If the other parties really do believe in democracy, they will extend the franchise to AfD voters and allow the AfD into government. And in fact, the economy will likely become better, crime will go down significantly. The far left, those Antifa thugs, they're going to be dealt with. And even a mass deportation of illegals and baby bonuses? Who could disagree with that? Someone who hates their country, that's who. But that's besides the point. I'm thinking about it like this, imagine if Donald Trump really stuck to the immigration issue. You know how he's been he's been trying to match Kamala's vibes over or style over substance um, candidacy. But I want to talk about if Trump actually did talk about the immigration issue and actually went out of his way to take a very, very right wing position on the issue. That could pay dividends. Because the states of East Germany, they're the closest analogs to America would be like Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan. These are industrial states that were at one point very great to live in, but because of neoliberal economics and immigration, everything has just gone to shit. And I'm thinking, we need to replicate this in America. Pennsylvania would be like a safe R state in 10 years if we really, really went hard on the immigration issue and really tried to appeal to working class folks and even adopting some pro union stances. And the more I see this, the more I'm going like, wow, this is really impressive. And I want to look at the AFD's perspective. Imagine having every single other party out against you. The entire mainstream media saying, oh, this party is far right, they're Nazis, whatever, and still winning an election. How do you think that feels when everyone stood up against you and you won because you were right? Because you actually cared about your constituents, unlike all the other parties. And when I put it in this perspective, it's kind of a beautiful thing. Democracy is great, actually, but it's only really great if the people actually know what they want, like in Eastern Germany. Because when the mainstream media constantly pelts a candidate or a party with the same defamatory label, far right, extremist, Nazi, whatever, and people ignore them and vote for the alleged far right extremist, it shows a real growth on the part of the people, and it reflects very, very positively on the voters. These are people who they looked at the mainstream media and they looked at the evidence of their eyes, and instead of doing what Big Brother told them to do, they took the evidence of their eyes and they elected the AFD, and hopefully they'll elect Donald Trump this year. It's wonderful. We're almost in the midst of a great awakening that the right, the broader Western right, is starting to really come back into itself. I've seen right wing parties eschew this liberal framework, like the Ronald Reagan liberal framework, and actually try to connect with working class voters on the issues that really matter, namely immigration and trade. And now we're here. We just got a huge victory in Germany. And I see these websites like DW, Politico, Reuters, NPR, CNN, CNBC, all of The Guardian, and the Associated Press, and they're all yelling. They're all angry that they lost, and they can only speak in insults, not policy. And so when they say Germany's far-right AFD wins election in shock result, first time since Nazis that a far-right party has won a state, it shows us that they have learned nothing. And so the more they talk, the more they call AFD far-right, people will not really view them that way. When you see an AFD voter, and he's friendly, and he actually cares about the stuff that's going on, more and more people will realize maybe the media isn't my friend. And at that point, the sky's the limit. I want to drop a huge white pill for all my friends, all the viewers here. I know things have not been looking the best so far in America, but knowing that groups that have once been thought of as unthinkable are now winning pluralities in in state Landtags in Germany is a very, very harrowing sign. And I think we really need to reflect on this more, that our ideas are simply better and we need to focus on them more. With that out of the way, Cobson out.